Welcome to a new episode of Up for Discussion. I'm Sam,
And I'm Matt.
and for this episode, we're going to discuss.
Arrow, the season so far.
Nice. So, as an avid viewer who has watched it from the start, both I and Matthew, tell them what's happened so far in Arrow.
Well, Arrow this season has returned to its more, realistic roots. The grittier storylines have done away with the mystic stuff from the previous season and with Ra's al Ghul.
What about Ragman?
Ragman.
I thought you said it.
You're a fan of Ragman, are you not?
I like his outfit and I like the CGI. It looks good. It's pretty cool.
It doesn't look good. It looks stupid.
Yeah, he was catching bullets.
It looks stupid.
I
It
watched.
doesn't fit. It's the one weird element left over. It just doesn't fit in.
I think it does because I think they're trying to deal with the fallout of Damien Dark's plan. And this guy, obviously, he had all his family wiped out, so he was a lone survivor of Haven
Yeah,
Rock.
his character isn't my issue. I don't mind him. I don't really mind the actor. It was just his goofy powers. It looks ridiculous.
I think it looks pretty good when it was catching bullets. That was awesome. I was like, wow, that's a kind of decent power. The thing is, though, he looks a bit like Scarecrow. Do you
Really?
agree? Yeah, have you seen his like mask? It's like the first time I saw him, I thought, why is
Oh,
Arrow
right.
hanging about with Scarecrow? But anyway, carry on. Apart from that, it's getting away from that mystic stuff apparently. But carry on.
Yeah. Well, the Mystic stuff wasn't very popular, for as I could tell. So they've done away with that and gone with something more familiar.
What do you mean?
Well, the last couple of seasons haven't been received very well.
Ra's al Ghul was good. I think
Was he? I see. I don't agree.
he was underused. That was the only problem. He was very underused, and they killed him at the end. Damien Dark, I think he was just. I didn't like him at all, and I don't like the fact that he's back for Legends of Tomorrow.
No.
The Lazarus Pit was good. So I mean,
I thought Ra's al Ghul worked pretty well up until that episode. Remember where they apparently killed off Oliver.
that was probably the climb. That was probably one of the best episodes where he died at the end and he booted him
Yeah.
off the mountain. That was really good. I like that.
Except then he lived, and apparently without the use of the Lazarus Pit, and from that point it was all downhill for me.
I think that was a bit pointless because you figure they would have shied away from that because they didn't know whether they had. Because up to that point, the Lazarus Pit wasn't really referenced or brought up. So I figured they were going to try and shy away with that. Then like a few episodes later, they brought Sarah back with the Lazarus Pit. So why wouldn't they have brought him back? But I think that was the issue with that with the bloodlust. I think they made the bloodlust a big thing. So if they brought Oliver back, then they obviously would have had to have given him the bloodlust as well.
But get even that the bloodlust and all that kind of stuff. I'm glad that's gone. I don't like it in Arrow. They save that stuff for the Flash or something similar.
I think they're probably trying to mix up Thea a bit because up to that point, Thea was a bit of a kind of wet blanket.
Yep.
So
And she still lives. She's kind of like semi-retired now this season. She pops in as Speedy for the crossover episode, but other than that, really, she's more Oliver Queen's campaign, or I guess not campaign manager now. She's the second in command as the mayor.
yeah, I don't really get that. They have literally no knowledge of any political practice or anything like that, and then all of a sudden they're both running. Why doesn't he get Queen? Does Queen Consolidate still exist? Or is it literally all gone now?
I don't know.
Shouldn't they work on trying to sort their company out if it exists? I think it's kind of been dissolved.
It was an odd choice, I felt, to move Oliver away from Queen Consolidated, because in a way it felt kind of like they wanted to make him a little less like Batman.
Mhm.
But I mean, let's face it, he basically is Batman in the CW universe. That's who he is. That's his role.
I
So
guess.
just let him keep the company. Also, they did away with Walter as well at the same time, right?
Yeah, that's okay. I didn't really care for him either. Because, I mean, the problem, they couldn't really have him carry on going around as a drunk playboy, and I don't think they could have him running the company, so they think, oh no, let's have him run for mayor. Which I think is like, I don't know, I think that was more like they went for that storyline because obviously there was at the time political upheaval in America anyway. So I figure if they brought that in, it'd resonate more with people. But it's like, what's the point in making him mayor? Is he literally going to go for, say, Arrow goes on for like another 3-4 seasons? Is he literally going to be mayor, or is he just going to kind of do it for this season and then just end up quitting? Because he's not literally just going to be the mayor till the end of like the program, really. I think
It's a difficult thing to do with the character of Oliver himself, because in the comics, Oliver Queen really is a billionaire playboy.
Mhm.
Whereas with Batman, Bruce Wayne, that's an act. It's not. I suppose it's more like Tony Stark in that way. But they didn't want to take that route with Oliver on the show. They wanted to be a more serious guy, and they didn't want to do the playboy angle. I remember him. I think that lasted literally about one episode.
Yeah.
In the first season, he threw like a party or something, and then after that,
I think that was kind of the Playboy cover, kind of like trying to cover so he could go in and obviously break in next door. But I mean, the problem is he's come back with a serious purpose. You know what I mean? He come back and come straight into it. Whereas, kind of, could you compare kind of Bruce Wayne's journey into Batman as you could with Oliver Queen's journey into Green Arrow? Because I mean,
kind of, except I suppose it's similar to Batman. It happened when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Obviously, he became Batman much older, but his transition into I must fight evil and blah 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 happened the moment his parents died. Whereas Oliver didn't really have that. Oliver's motivation, at least on the show, is more to do with the fact that his dad was a complete scumbag and then killed himself.
yeah,
And they actually brought back. Remember in the first season he had the names of people,
yeah, the book.
and he was hunting them down and it disappeared. They brought that back this season.
That's good, because I mean that's kind of they're trying to get back to the roots. Because I think maybe they strayed a little too far, but really I think the first like 2 seasons, their kind of villains were solid, whereas season 3, Ra's al Ghul was completely underused, and season 4, I don't know, I think it's kind of just my public opinion, but I really did not like Damien Dark. So I think they're kind of, in terms of villains, they've got Vigilante, and they've got like Prometheus now, but apparently Prometheus is meant to be someone from the first season who popped up in the first season. Apparently he's meant to be this, do you know they had the Royal Flush Gang?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, because I'm trying to think what happened to the dad. So I don't know whether they went to prison or whatever, but I know apparently it's meant to be like the son.
At this point, I'm not sure who he is. I suppose it could be. They've been hinting he was someone in his past,
Yeah,
and they've been playing up the fact that because Oliver started killing people again,
yeah,
but they're trying to, on the show, it seems to be arguing whether Oliver's murders is justified, compared to in the first season where, let's face it, he was literally going around just chucking arrows in almost anybody who got in his way. I do think they went too far. I think Oliver killing no one was a mistake. The whole "I will never kill again" is silly. That's Batman's thing. You don't need Oliver Queen to have that, especially when he's gone around murdering willy-nilly.
Is that like a differentiation there, that Oliver Queen going back to killing, they're kind of, right, they're whacking him in public office as the mayor, as opposed to running his company. They've moved him away from the Playboy thing, and they're having him go back to killing people. Is that a plot device, or is that literally just trying to get him away from Batman? Because I mean, Prometheus again, he like, okay, in this incarnation, I think it's more of a namesake. He has the same name as Prometheus, but Prometheus is a Batman villain.
He is, but to my it's been a while, so I may be confusing things. But to my memory, I think it was a Green Arrow villain as well. if I remember rightly, he's
It's
the guy that killed um, the Red Arrow's kid, I think. But I mean, I don't think it's getting him. I don't think the point is to get him away from Batman. I think it's to get him back to where he used to be, at least a happy medium.
hmm
Because they don't want to go back to having Oliver just killing anybody. Because I would assume the writers would think that would be taking 2 steps back. But clearly the fans want more of the first 2 seasons and less of the last two.
So, in respect to that, if we kind of move from that to relationships,
Yes,
how do you feel more about less Oliver and Felicity?
I thank God.
Yeah,
I
because
like I like the character of Felicity. I don't mind her, but I think with Oliver, she becomes a cliche and a very
yeah,
annoying one.
yeah, I think she's kind of some whingy broad, you know what
Yes.
I mean? And I think that's what made me dislike her because she's kind of quirky. See, I'd prefer to see her with like Ray Palmer or something like that, or Cisco, or because obviously she can't be with Barry or Barry Allen, the Flash. Which I mean, I think they're pulling towards because they keep swapping her around people. Obviously, there was her bumming off Oliver Queen, then she went on to Barry, then she went from him to Ray Palmer, then she's gone from him back to Oliver, and now she was with that other guy who was part of a task force.
Oh yes, so that was pretty interesting. They killed him off,
Yeah,
which I mean I saw that coming from a mile off. Some people thought he would be Prometheus. I didn't at all. I think he was clearly set up as one of those goody guys who just wants to do the right thing.
yeah,
But they killed him off in a very interesting way by having Oliver kill him
yeah.
by accident. But then, see, I don't know how I feel about this. Immediately, everyone in the team, including Felicity, forgave them for it, which part of me thinks good. But I don't want to sit through 2, 4, 5 episodes worth of everyone being mad at him and then emotionally trying to work it through.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it did seem a bit too convenient immediately straight away. But I'm glad that character's gone. I am now slightly concerned that with Felicity free again, they're going to go back towards her and Oliver.
I think they just need. I think they need to find someone for her so she can be back to how she kind of was in season one, kind of funny and less dreary. Because when she's with Oliver, she's just like always moaning and depressing, and it kind of takes all the fun away from her character. The kind of thing that made people like her character in the first place, all the fun, it's kind of completely taken away.
Oh yeah, it became a soap opera, really, didn't it?
A real bad one.
Yes.
So hopefully, and obviously, because obviously her guy's dead now, and with Laurel coming back
Oh,
at the end, good, because I prefer her. It's like the thing is, I don't see why. I don't like the idea of them like and ahhing with other characters. It's like, look, let's just settle on the fact that Oliver's going to end up with Laurel and work that out, because obviously when he had his little dream sequence with the Dominators, I think he seemed to kind of profess his kind of feelings more, that personally he wanted to end up with Laurel with the wedding and stuff, because he said, but is that, see, will they try and write that down to the fact that he misses her, or is that literally like his true feelings? Because it's going to be annoying if he ends up like bumming around with Felicity for like another season or so and then deciding he should just get with her now.
well, first of all, is Laurel back? You know, what
I think
is
she
it?
might
Laurel?
be.
Is it an alternate world? The Laurel,
See,
the evil Laurel? I don't know.
so I know what you mean, because there's obviously the Flash had Black Canary. Well, not Black Canary. She had a different name because she was like Earth 2. But there was the
Siren, Black Siren.
oh yeah, that was it. She was locked up in the pipeline,
Yeah.
and I don't really know what happened to her, but she kind of looked nice, if you know what I mean. She didn't like. I don't know whether you know
No,
what I
do you
mean.
mean?
She,
No.
she had kind eyes, so I don't think she's an evil Laurel, but will it turn out to be like a flash? Because the way I see it, I don't think it can be a flashpoint thing, because in the dream sequence when Oliver was with the aliens, I think he was pretty committed to the fact that I think she was gone. But whether that was just him being him, or like it turns out she never actually did die, she was just away for months.
Ugh.
See, what if it turns out like the opening sequence is if it is with her and it's like, oh, I missed you, and she's like, yeah, I've been away, I don't know, studying law in England or something for 6 months, and it
Now,
turns out,
no, she's still dead, right?
so
Like that. She's got. I'm pretty sure we saw the statue. You know, they put up after she died.
yeah, but was that
She's
before?
still. I think that's after flashback. I'm pretty sure she was still dead.
Right, so the theory, so if she's dead, then that means the theory's got to be she's either Black Siren. But I mean, questions have got to be asked. I think Team Arrow know about Black Siren, don't they?
Yeah,
Because I remember that they captured her, and I remember Felicity remarking about how she was like looked like Laurel Lance, and she was like a good friend. So I think they're aware of Black Siren. Is Oliver aware of Black Siren?
yeah, he would be. If Felicity knows, he would be.
So what else could it be then? It's either Flashpoint, or it's or she's been. But I mean, the Lazarus Pit's out of order. So I mean, or will this turn out to be a kind of interlude into Talia al Ghul's? Because she's coming. So will there? What's the purpose of her showing up? Is like, are they going to restart the League of Assassins? Is there a Lazarus? Because there's got to be like Lazarus Pit. Are they going to have like? Because I haven't really explained, for all intents and purposes, to the viewers, that the only Lazarus Pit was obviously the one that Sarah destroyed, but obviously in the comic books there's numerous of them. So has she been brought back by a Lazarus Pit by Nissa and Talia together, or is she Black Siren, or is she Flashpoint? I figure it's got to be one of them three things. Because I mean, for her to come through, I mean, the only other explanation is her coming through from another Earth. But I mean, how's that going to end up happening? She just manages to travel through or something. Because she seemed
Well,
like the way she kind of turned round, this, I mean, she was in the base. If he just bumped into her onto the street, it could be like a coincidence. But for her to actually be in the Arrow lair and turn around and greet Oliver personally, that means she's got some knowledge of who Oliver Queen is. Or maybe she's a dominator in disguise. That's literally the only other one.
oh,
It's,
it's not.
that's what I mean. So it's got to be one of them ones. But hopefully they'll be more kind of solid together.
It's a weird one with Black Canary because she wasn't very popular in the first 2 seasons of the show,
No,
and a lot of people are annoyed with her character.
because
A lot of people,
she was whingy too,
yeah,
like Felicity is.
she was whingy before Felicity was,
Mm.
and it's like when Felicity became whingy, she stopped, and Black Canary became vaguely popular, except for the fact that again some people didn't like the fact she became Black Canary, especially overnight. I thought it was a bit quick as well, but it is a problem with these shows. There seems to always be one annoying female character somewhere.
Yeah.
Originally it was Black Canary. Flash in the first season, Iris was annoying. They fixed her though. The first season of Legends of Tomorrow, you had the Hawk Girl, who was awful.
Mm. I think the thing is, the only kind of girl character they've kind of got right is Sarah Lance, but she's kind of independent. You don't have her fawning over the kind of male lead characters or anything like that. She kicks ass and she's kind of a solid leader. Now she's kind of gone on to be like Captain Canary of the time ship. So I mean, in terms of female characters in the Arrowverse, I'd say she's pretty much the most solid one
She
so
is.
far.
Except the one thing that bugs me, is they keep on doing every time. I haven't seen every episode of Legends this season, but of what I have seen with Legends, the one thing they keep repeating over and over again is there's some guy who's like, "You're a woman, you can't do anything," and then she batters him. Like, we get it. She's a badass. You don't need to keep on telling us.
Yeah,
But
but
yes, in general, yeah, I agree with you. She's probably the best female character they've got.
I think the only kind of annoying thing with her is the fact in Legends of Tomorrow she keeps kind of going after Damien Dark, and that like all the other characters are like, nah, don't do it. Obviously, whatever happens in the future happens in the future, so there's no point going after him now. And like 2 seconds later, she's ditched her team and she's going after him. That's a bit annoying, because that's like kind of running into kind of the emotional thing of like, I don't know whether you'd say, I don't know whether it's like not kind of correct to say a woman thing, but like, I mean, she's a smart girl. She should know, and that she should know better. I mean, I know she was like really close with her sister, so I mean, you can keep putting it down to that, but it's like I think she's kind of got over that now, so she'll be back to being pretty solid. But I mean,
If Laurel's back though,
yeah,
they've again gone undone a death.
ma-
They
ma-
did it with Sarah, and now they've done it again. Like, does it even matter on the show anymore if they're going to keep on bringing everyone back to life? Why not just bring his mum back as well?
yeah, she's terrible. She was annoying, so was her dad. I mean, the thing with that, because if I remember rightly, she was brought back in the comic books as well.
Who? Anyway,
Yeah.
everyone's been brought back in the comic books.
So I mean, because she apparently had a relationship with Ra's al Ghul, and then they dipped him in the Lazarus pit, and she actually. Do you think this version of Laura Lance is going to have the voice like Black Siren? If she is Black Siren, then obviously she's got the voice. But if she's not Black Siren and she's someone else, well, someone else in regards to she's Laura Lance, but she's another version of Laura Lance, will she have the canary cry?
Oh God, I hope not.
Because I find it dopey, that thing on her neck where she's just like,
I think the entire thing it works in the comic book, but in the show it just looks stupid.
I mean,
When she has to do it, like I feel sorry for the actress when she has to do it. Like, she just feel like a right idiot.
I like the idea of it, because obviously at that point they didn't really have mystical stuff, so it's kind of based off science.
Right, but again, they don't really have mystical stuff now, really, apart from that goofy ass ragman thing.
Yeah, but they can kind of do it, and it wouldn't really be, because you don't really have to put it down to mystical. You can class as metahuman now. You know what I mean? Half man,
What's
half man, half shark. It's not mystical. It's
So you think this
metahuman.
version? You think this is another Laurel from another Earth that is a metahuman?
I think she may be metahuman. I don't know whether she's from another Earth. I figure it's got to be. It's got to be Black Siren, but without the funky makeup. Because I mean, what are they really gonna do? It's like, oh, who are you? It's like, oh, it's me, Laurel. Because she knows about the Arrow Cave, so she has intimate knowledge. So it's either got to be Laurel Lance literally back from the dead, and someone's done it behind Oliver Queen's back, or. But even then, will Black Siren even know? Or unless she's from another Earth and it's literally pretty much identical to that Earth, and he has the same, and he has the base in there. But I mean, the aliens, the Dominators, know because they probed his mind, so they know that he's the aliens know his Oliver Queen's a Green Arrow and all this stuff. So I mean, could it be an alien subplot?
I hope not. Not like a scroll or something who was morphed into someone else. Nah.
Yeah, maybe it's like maybe it's like a shapeshifter, and then it like turns out it's not actually. But even then, the intimate knowledge. So I mean, I've got a figure, because I mean the arrival of Talia al Ghul can't be a coincidence, because it's like, why bring her back? The League's disbanded. We haven't heard from Nyssa. Ra's al Ghul's dead. So why all of a sudden bring in Talia al Ghul? I mean, they messed it up the first time. I mean, fair enough, have another shot at it. But I figure they've got to have brought her back. But then, why would she bring Laura Lance back? Of all people to bring back, why her? Whether it's to gain Sarah's favour, or maybe Sarah maybe Sarah goes real desperate, digs up her body, jumps in the time ship, flies back, curries favour with Ra's al Ghul and brings Laurel back, and then teleports her back into the future, and somehow manages to get her soul back in her body as well.
No, oh my god.
So I figure she can't be brought back with the Lazarus Pit either. So I mean, I don't know how the writers. I mean, what's the most annoying? I mean, there's the complicated ways of bringing her back, with obviously the Lazarus Pit, but then there's going to be the annoying one of I'm from another Earth. It's like, well, why? You know what I mean? Because how's the interaction with Sarah going to be? If it's like I'm from another Earth, but please treat me like the sister who just died, because I look like her and I may kind of have her memories. I mean, she can't be from another Earth either. I think they've dug themselves into a hole bringing her back, and not obviously bringing her back with Lazarus Pit. I mean,
Yeah.
I guarantee the writers just have some kind of really dumb reason of bringing her back,
It's
and
a,
like it's not good.
it's a shame because the season's been going well. And maybe we haven't seen it yet. This might turn out perfectly fine. I think it's going to be very difficult for that to happen. But so far, so good. I just hope it doesn't drag everything down. Season's gone well. The villains low key but good.
Speaks,
Even the flashbacks I thought were all right in the season.
Speaking of dragging things down,
Oh god.
how do you think John Diggle's been this season? Because
Well,
it's been
Diggle
a
was
bit.
not really. He's not been in it much really.
Yeah, but for what it's been in, it's kind of been kind of self-deprecating and depressing. It's like,
I would rather have this Diggle than the Diggle last season dealing with his idiot brother. That was awful.
yeah, I think that was pointless bringing him back as well. I think it was pointless bringing his brother back because they could have just had anyone serve as kind of. I think the only reason they did that is to kind of have a change in the John Diggle character when he killed his brother. But I
Oh,
mean, what's
well,
really
that
been
was
the
a complete.
point?
I mean, that was a botch as well, wasn't it? He talked about it. It's like, yeah, too right you kill him. Then he cries about it. But, I think he's been a bit better this season. I think the crossover served the character well. They normally do. He was probably the best thing about the first crossover with the Flash. He's always been pretty funny in those episodes. So I think he fits pretty well. I think he gets on quite good with the newer members of the team, even though I can't remember any of their names really. So Diggle keep him. Should they kill Diggle? Do you think they should kill Diggle off?
Um, I think his character. Not. I I don't think so. I don't really see a point to him now they've got other people in. Because I mean, let's be honest, that wild dog or whatever it's called.
That's one of them. Yeah, there you go.
I don't. Is that actually his name?
I think so. It's Wild something. I said Wild Dog. Why not?
It's not Wild Cat, I don't think. I know
No,
it's,
Wild Cat was in the show for about 2 minutes.
yeah, I
And
know.
this
I
is
know. It's got a dog on this thing. Because I mean, he pretty much does the same thing, except he's got two guns. You know what I mean? He's got two guns and a hockey mask. I mean, I think they've kind of messed up a bit. I think they've kind of made John Diggle irrelevant by having him on. Fair enough, Ragman, because who does Ragman take away from? And obviously, you got Mr. Terrific, and now the girl's kind of stabbed him in the back. I think she was kind of. They're all kind of like replacements. I figure Mr. Terrific's like the replacement for Ray Palmer, even though he didn't really get involved. The girl, Artemis, was obviously a replacement for Roy Harper. And now there's Wild Dog, Mad Dog. Is he Mad Dog or Wild Dog?
something Wild Dog.
I figure that's a dumb name, but I figure he's a replacement for John Diggle. So I mean, if they killed him, I'm not really emotionally attached, so I wouldn't really care if he killed him. I mean, I figure the characters would go on about it, but I don't think if he got killed, I don't think the characters would be at a disadvantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't. I think it's too early to kill Diggle. You had Laurel die last season. And I think that Sarah died the season before that,
Mhm.
and then even what's his name for the first season, Tommy.
Yeah. Maybe
You don't need to kill someone off every year.
maybe his Prometheus. Did you get the really terrible joke like when Malcolm Merlin was talking to Thea in the crossover, and she was like, "Oh, it's a shame Tommy couldn't be here," and they were like, "Oh yeah, is like a doctor in Chicago," which is obviously like a really bad like Easter egg because the guy who played Tom is like now starring in Chicago MD. No, Chicago Med, I think it is, which is like some medical program, and they made like a really batty joke about it, and I was just like, oh, that was terrible. It was really awkward.
Well, it would be, but whatever. He's not going to come back.
No, he could be Prometheus.
No, he wouldn't.
That'd be a surprise, though. You wouldn't see that one coming.
Well, I would if he wasn't contracted to another TV show. It's just not an option. It's the same as the guy. I don't know about now, but last season of The Flash, people were talking about was Zoom Eddie. Well, no, because the guy who plays Eddie is contracted to another TV show, so it just won't work. And they're not going to recast Tommy. They're not going to bring him back in.
No, maybe it's Malcolm Merlin. Because he hasn't really popped up at all, because he's kind of been in Legends of Tomorrow now. So, I know.
Yeah, what are they doing? Like a Legion of Doom thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well.
But a really bad Legion of Doom. I mean, Eobard Thorn's good, but we'll save that for the Legends of Tomorrow discussion. So I think that pretty much wraps it up so far. So for the viewers, again, like, share and subscribe. I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
And we'll see you next time. Superhero Hub. Holla!